So the brave adventurers four have found themselves in the abyss of the Dead Man's Drop, a forgotten cave somewhere in the cliff sides of Aneska. You've navigated the sprawling chambers, finding a abandoned mine shaft sprawling vertically. A rotting framework of timber is all that's left. After investigating it, you had found a chamber at the bottom of metal, some sort of old world fabrication. Teha, risking his health, descended to the bottom of this cavern and took a
rubbing.
What is a rubbing of some of the control surfaces at the bottom of this chamber, hearing mechanical beasts deep within the bowels of the earth. He began to withdraw, and a sentient acrid ooze came through the chinks in the door that was blocking his path, hastened his ascent from the cavern. Whereupon he returned safely to the team, and you all were approached by a young rattan, an anthropomorphic rat-like humanoid. She addressed the group and revealing her name was Natty, and that she was an archaeologist and had been living in this cave as a means of survival. She had made a deal with some unsavory people as funds were low, and finding her results less than desirable, they turned on her. She fled and escaped into the bowels of the same cave that you're now trapped in, and her pursuers were attacked by the denizens of this monstrous pit, eviscerated by the creature that now guards the mine shaft exit. After her harrowing description of the monster that you guys would have to face if you were to leave in that direction, you reevaluated your other options and decided a guano-covered excursion through a rat's nest would be preferable. The stealth operation went off without a hitch, thanks to all of your preparatory work, and a quick guano fight helped seal the deal, much to Albert's resistance. He, after just cleaning his fur off, had no intention of smearing such vile refuse upon his beautiful pelt. But the rest of the team wasn't going to risk losing him or their own hide. So after a brief struggle, the deed was done, and you were able to cross the vile vermin, vindicating the violation of your Volan friend. You now find yourself at the precipice of an exit. You can see daylight, and in that daylight you can see the band of outlaws that have been chasing Natty. They look like a ragtag group of miscreants. Piles of beer bottles seem to be the only common thing in their camp, and they lazily chip away at the collapsed tunnel that is preventing you from exiting. A brave expedition committed by Nyx. She transformed into a tiny lizard and was able to get a better look at what was going on. Although they decided to use her as target practice, she quickly scurried back into the cave and told the others of their plans. You decided, or the plan was floated, that you have one more powerful old world weapon at your disposal, a bomb of unprecedented destructive power. I believe it was Nyx that floated the idea of luring them to the cave entrance and then detonating the device, which should quite handily remove the debris and them with it. And with that, I will hand the session over to you guys.
We also have Nyx has created a prop that's basically a pretend robot to entice the people with an insanely high roll. She should go into counterfeiting at this rate.
Right? I think that her ability with creating such a counterfeit object is a little bit alarming, because only somebody that has done it many times would be able to complete such a task.
No comment.
Nyx, how many times have you made creations such as this to trick others?
Well, I've never actually made a robot before, so this is a first for me. Probably not. It's pretty much decorative. Like, it looks nice. That's about the size of it. It's not functional. I mean, yes, but this isn't exactly my profession. I mean, it is my profession. It's not my profession anymore. You know what? Why are we standing around here talking like this? Like, y'all think it looks good. I think it looks good. Natty, I think you're on. Just make sure they don't try to touch it.
Okay. I'll try to get him over and where's the bomb that you have? She looks around nervously.
Who has it?
Well, I saw Albert use one a little while ago. Oh, and by the way, Albert absolutely insisted that he use the last bomb. It's a silver sphere with a big red button on the top. No, you used yours to blow a hole in the rat's nest.
It was rad, though.
Oh.
So Shepperd has the other.
Yeah. Everybody was super stoked to let you throw it, by the way.
Albert had a nice moment.
Yeah. I think the exact words when he suggested it were, "Please God, no," and "How far away do I need to stand?"
Albert says, "Well, if we need a bomb detonated remotely, I have a trick we need."
Yeah, what are you suggesting, Albert?
What? Could we go over the? Hold on. Could we go over the plan
All right.
again? Is something moving?
No. Here's the thing. All right, outside is all these fellers that I just looked at, and they tried to shoot at me, and I was just a little lizard. Natty is being chased by them, pursued, and we're gonna take this little doohickey that I just rigged up, and Natty's gonna take it out there and see. She's not doing so great right now, as you can see from, her coloring and that little bit of dribble coming out of her chin. Sorry, Natty, I just, it's kind of obvious. So we're hoping to garner a little bit of sympathy, and she's going to say that she found a whole bunch more of this kind of stuff further in the mine, but she needs them to help her excavate the entrance and carry it out, and she's willing to split the profit with them. So once she goes back inside to supposedly get the rest of these objects and start, helping haul them out, the fellers are going to run this way and they're going to start excavating. And when they do, we're going to just, we're not going to think about that too much. We're just going to hit the button and run. Well, because when I tried to go out there and say hello, they shot at me, Shepperd. So you think people who shoot at lizards are real nice folk and ought to be, talked to and you should say hello? What if they shoot you?
Well, if I may, says Albert, as I recall, these folks are quite hostile towards our good rat friend. Are they not?
Yes, they are.
So what if we had somebody else do this? Perhaps somebody... Well, not me exactly, says Albert. And then he's going to clap his hands, and I'm going to cast Unseen Servant to make a body double of myself. And how heavy is this thing? I think my friend can push this. He looks pretty strong. Thanks. Oh yeah, no worries.
It's real small.
Teja's gonna look back and forth between the two Alberts and kind of like tilt his head both times, his beak kind of opens and closes a few times, and finally he turns to what he thinks might be the real Albert. I did not know you had the power of the gods to create.
Me neither, says the one you're looking at. But I did, says the one you're not looking at.
Your hand goes through him.
My friend, this is a secret. This is a power passed on strictly through those of Fox and blood, Vulpin blood. No, says Albert. Now, be so kind as to put the robot into the hands of my friend here. I'll take it, says the other one.
All right. And Nyx very trepidatiously hands it over. And her tail is kind of swishing.
And the bomb?
Wait a second. Who's...
You
I have it. All right. Yeah, so here's my question, Albert. This is a stunning plan, but how many instructions can your little image here follow?
As many as I give him.
All right, and he can do it.
Unless I leave him remotely. Then all he can say is that he loves rattlesnakes.
Oh. All right, so if he can go out and carry on a conversation? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. If I stand back and watch, I think it'll work.
All right. You know we got one shot at blowing this thing up, right? Everything's riding on you right now, Albert.
It's no problem, he says, and he smiles at his other Albert, who says, "We got this in the bag." And they both high-five each other and do a little wiggly hand, secret handshake.
Teja raises an eyebrow and stares at Nyx and starts muttering under his breath in his own language.
Nyx is holding the bomb cradled in her hands, and she just keeps darting looks from it up to Teja and then down at Albert. Just kind of waiting for him to... Well, we could use Shepperd, too. Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna leave this up to wiser minds than mine. I think I've done my part.
Shepperd, if
it
you
looks
get exploded as a fox, will you turn back into a you? Oh,
This is correct. This thing obliterates everything. If you remember what we went through in the thing, it's just, 30 feet of vacant space.
oh.
Well,
he
it's a
won't-
real
he
good
won't
thing
die.
nothing can touch him.
Don't worry, you ain't gonna get hurt, says Albert, and the other one says, I doubt that. They both laugh at each other.
All right. Teha, what are you thinking?
As much as I'm a little alarmed at two Alberts with a potential bomb, I think it may be the best solution for this current problem without anyone else getting too hurt.
I can't believe it, but I am agreeing with you. Yeah, I never thought I'd say it, but here we go. All right, here you go, Albert. You can take this, instruct your friend on the instructions, all the things he needs to say.
That's right.
And
Okay, my friend.
Nix is gonna walk all the way back down the hallway rather quickly. You got to get 30
All right,
feet away
Albert,
from
too.
it, and you want to set it right at the door, she says over her shoulder as she walks away.
All right, Albert 2. I'm gonna give you 3 lines. Ready? Help me. I need to get out of here. Then wait 15 seconds. Then say, please, I have this robot with me. It's worth a fortune. And then for the third one, say, oh goodness, I think it's gonna collapse. Help me hold up this cave ceiling. And then detonate the bomb.
You come back inside to detonate the bomb. We don't want them to see it or get their hands on it.
Just,
That's what we
is
discussed.
there a reason he can't hold it behind his back?
He is opaque until people pass a intelligence investigation check. If they see through the illusion,
Yeah,
then
the bomb
he becomes
stays
transparent.
on our side.
All right.
All
You're
right,
the cat.
hold on. Is there any way I can fit out that hole myself? Yes, I am.
Are you asking
Sorry.
me, the DM,
Yes.
or are you just asking the group? Yeah, you can shapeshift, and when you shapeshift any items
Right.
that you have on you, you can choose to either yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm a pretty smooth talker. I think I'll just put myself out there. Teha?
I have a different idea. So we'll still send Albert number 2.
Uh-huh.
Is that what we should
I
call this
him,
new one?
Alan.
Alan.
Okay.
All right.
Well, then Alan can go out with the robot that you constructed and talk to these people and start getting them to come closer. Meanwhile, you, Nix, if you are somewhat... Say, if you shapeshifted, as you did before, but were somewhere in that cave-in, and then triggered the bomb there, and then ran back before it detonated.
All right.
Do you think you could do that?
I could do that, but I could just be in my own form.
Which, I understand, but my concern is if they shot at you while you were a lizard, they may shoot at you when you're in your normal form.
You know what? That's good thinking. I think that's a pretty good plan. Let's do it. All right. And then Nix is going to reach over and take the bomb. And she is going to... Let me see what I can shapeshift into real quick. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this shapeshifting thing.
You can turn into any kind of common animal, as long as it doesn't have a flight or something.
Okay. I will shapeshift into a raccoon.
Okay. I actually have
A raccoon token.
some raccoon. I do, yeah, because one of the other players is actually an awakened raccoon. He raised this raccoon from birth, and then his character died. So I just had him come back as his pet.
That works.
And let me add vision to your little new friend, and dynamic lighting on, night vision 60 feet, and you should be good to go.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Rocky?
Alan. Here's what you
All
do.
right.
Take that robot,
Oh,
run outside, and hold it up in the air, and say, "Free! I'm finally free! There's robots in that there cave." And dance around for about 20 seconds, and then run back to the cave, kind of just, like, dive back in, holding the robot.
the raccoon that is Nyx fixes her icy blue eyes on Albert, cocks her head, and then rolls her eyes, turns around, and scampers down the corridor towards the opening.
Okay. So you can hear Natty call after you. Good luck.
And Nyx does not answer because she does not have the ability to
We don't
speak at
need
this
luck,
time.
says Albert. Right, Alan?
We all are, Shepperd. We all are. All right.
Okay.
Albert, too.
Hold on,
I think
Alan.
he's on.
So you squeeze. You squeeze. You squeeze through the boulders, and you once again find yourself on the outside of the cave. Well, last time you were out here, you were a lizard.
I wasn't
and
going
they shot at
outside.
you a little bit.
I was not going
there was-
outside the cave.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
was just going to the door. Yeah, staying on our side.
Okay.
I'm going to find a place to kind of wedge the bomb in on our side of the cave-in. Hopefully pretty central.
Okay. All right. Roll me a deception, and let's use your deception skill, but let's use charisma. Not instead of charisma. Let's use dexterity. So let's say raccoon dexterity is 12. So you have +1.
Yes,
And then do you have
I do.
proficiency in deception? Okay, so you can add your
Okay.
proficiency modifier to that +1.
Oh, yeah. So that's a natural 19.
Yeah.
I love these dice. These dice are
Oh,
my
nice.
favorite dice. So natural 19 plus 5 plus
Should
1.
be 22. Oh.
Yeah. So plus 6.
Oh, it's not. Your
Oh.
proficiency modifier is listed at the top.
On my D&D, it's on my
Where's
skill.
proficiency on that?
Skills.
Oh,
Deception.
yeah, you have proficiency in it, but your proficiency bonus should be
Oh.
2.
Oh, I see
So
it
you
right
should
there.
get a total
Okay,
of
all
3
right.
that you get to add
So
to
that's
that.
19, 20, 21, 22. 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. 22. Okay, so you find a perfect little nook. You actually kind of tap into your raccoon instincts, and you find an ideal little spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to optimize the position of the bomb so it will remove all the debris. Is that what you want?
It obliterates everything in like a 30-foot radius, correct?
Okay. It's a... let me double check, because I still have the last one up. It would be...
Diameter, that's what
30-foot diameter, so...
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah. And I will put that down so you can see, so it's not going off, but this is the token that I just put down. It looks like it's covering the entire width of the cave and the entire debris field. So should be, in fact, I can kind of push it out a little bit, and it looks like it'll extend outside of the debris field, because I believe your intent is to catch them in the blast as well, right?
Yeah, as much as possible.
Okay, so I'm gonna nudge it. Yeah, I'm gonna nudge it so it does extend a little bit out. Okay, so
I'm just
and then once you're done, you're able to find a perfect little stone. It's wide and flat, but a little kind of tall at the same time, and you cover up the device. So only somebody that is aware of its position would be able to easily spot it.
Holding an action, I guess, or whatever, for detonating it and scampering away until the appropriate time in the dialogue outside. Or until, till they come close.
Okay. So you realize, after Al used his, that very conveniently it has a 6-second timer.
Wonderful.
While you've been doing this, Al's been rehearsing with Alan in the corner. All right, now hold it like this, not like that. No, like this. All right, I think you're good.
Okay. I'll give you advantage on your a dialogue check since you've given yourself the help action.
Great. Once Alan goes off, Albert's also going to knock an arrow and prepare a shot if anybody other than Nyx comes through that hole.
Okay.
Shoot somebody. Out here, Shepperd, it's either shoot or be shot. And they got guns, I think. It won't be us. You'll have to figure that out when it comes, my friend. I ask myself the same questions sometimes at night. Indeed. I don't think you've spoken ever truer words. Like my pa used to say, don't matter how you're dealt the card, living it will always be hard. How do you know that's true?
Dun dun dun.
Existential crisis?
That's Al's asking the deep questions.
Shepperd, what is the set of all sets?
You named yourself to us, my friend. You could be anyone you want to. There is no truth or non-truth to that statement. My dad wasn't the great Oliver Core, though. I think that's the truest thing you've ever said, Prophet. As Alan walks off. I guess. Okay, so Alan's gonna walk up out the hole, holding up the robot, and he's gonna say, "Free! I'm free! I'm finally free! There's robot in that there cave," he says, holding up a robot.
Okay, you walk through the cave and then start shouting. Let's see how perceptive they are. Roll me stealth, and it's a -4 modifier. And,
oh boy!
And he is not proficient because this is just an unseen servant, and it has 1 in every attribute but strength.
Okay. It's probably not going to do that well then. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. Yes, that is a 9 minus a 4, which is a 5.
Okay, so there was a guy with a pickaxe, and he was trying to dislodge some stone, and he just saw a little Volan meld out of the stone, and he dropped his pickaxe, and he's like, "Oh, by the gods, there's a ghost here! It's a ghost!" And he jumps backwards, afraid, and is terrified. I do it, and the other people go over there and start to, what the hell? Okay.
I'm free.
Albert, you had 3 predetermined lines. So because the way Unseen Servant works is you can use your bonus action to make it take an action, but you don't share its senses. So if you gave it a programmed instruction, it'll do that. So what I'm thinking is you can run over and manually take control of this thing, but you'll risk being seen by the posse. Or you can stay back and let it go with the things that you instructed it to do. Or you can just make something up.
I trust in my instructions.
All is fine.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, can I hear this at least?
Yep.
From where I am?
Yep, there's a lot of shouting.
Okay.
The camp is a commotion. You hear guns being drawn, and there's some shouting for a boss.
I will say, fear not, friends. I'm not a ghost.
Okay.
I have found technology in this cave.
Okay. I'm gonna need 2 rolls. I'm gonna need a stealth roll from Albert, and as you take in control of the illusion, I'll let you roll.
I can't like telepathically do that.
You can't share senses with it. You gotta be within.
Oh, okay.
Sight of it.
Then I trust my instructions. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So what was the next rote thing that you told it to do?
Alan says, "Come on, friends. There's more robots inside this cave."
Roll persuasion normally. I would have given you disadvantage, but because you helped yourself out earlier, it's going to cancel each other out and just be a straight roll.
Okay, that's still not good. But
yeah, it's just a normal roll.
It's only a -1. Yeah, 3.
Okay. So, are you with? Did you move to where you could see what was going on?
No, I can't see what's going on.
Okay. All right. So you hear a different voice. Boss, there's like a ghost out here saying it's got a robot. And you hear a familiar voice. Well, what do you mean? The ghost came out of the wall, says it's got a robot. Well, go get the robot.
That's right. Albert thought ahead because he knew all he would have to do is say something that would draw them over. It doesn't matter whether they believed it. So he'll say his final pre-programmed line, which is, "Come on, friends, there's more to find." And then Alan will run back into disappearing.
Okay.
The robot in hand.
I I think because of Nix's position, you would be able to see Whistling Joe.
Yeah, I'm
I
going
think you've already
abort.
figured it out.
Oh no, it's Whistling Joe. All right.
And as Albert's clone runs back inside, you hear, "Hey, I know that fella."
I love Rattlesnake, says Alan.
Oh no.
Yeah, he does.
All right. Leaving the bomb where it is on our side, all covered over. Nyx is going to scamper away back down the hallway, and as she goes, transform back into herself and come careening around the corner and whisper at the group, "Guys, stuff has changed. It's Whistling Joe out there. It's Whistling Joe. We can't blow up Whistling Joe." Okay. He said what now? Okay, hold on. We'll talk about that later, Shepperd.
Shoot first, and then the clone says, get shot.
I mean, there's that, but here's the thing. We used to know Whistling Joe when he was a friend. We gotta work fast. Teja, come on. We used to work for him. I know you don't know him.
Are you sure that this is the same friend or the real friend? Because, remember, back before we all found ourselves in this cave system, there was one who looked like him and changed.
Yep, that is true. But I'm just saying, we don't have a lot of time to decide. We can't kill a friend. Can't risk it. I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down. This was my idea.
Natty speaks up.
I was just saying, this is my idea, and I can't justify it anymore.
Natty speaks up and says, "You know Whistling Joe? That's the guy that I made the deal with. That's the one that I owed the money to. His guys that chased me down here."
We can't trust Whistling Joe, Nix. That guy, he eats rattlesnakes for pleasure.
He's just... I can't go through with this. If y'all want to detonate the bomb, that's up to you, but I can't do this anymore. No. This puts a whole different face on it.
You can hear excavation, the chipping of stone, and there's an actual earnest effort now being made by the gang on the outside of that wall.
Albert's gonna shout from inside, "Whistling Joe, is that you?"
Yeah, it's me. What? How'd you get in there? Where have you been?
As Alan walks forward.
It's what was the name? It was Anderson, or what was it?
Anderson.
Anton. Anton the Fox, right? You like investigating stuff.
Never mind that, Joe. Tell me, what are you doing down here excavating?
While he is carrying on this conversation, Nyx is going to go back up to the wall and retrieve the bomb. Stealthily.
And
Okay.
Albert will be like, "Nyx, don't, come on. I can use my servant."
Okay. Nyx, as you get the bomb, you realize that they are all in the blast radius right now.
She isn't going to do it.
Okay.
No,
So
just
you
going to
now
hide
have
it
the bomb
and
back
then
in your
take
possession.
off back down the hallway quietly.
Albert,
Okay, so they are kind of able to spy, not spy, but see you as you approach. And he says, "Oh, it's that what was the name for the race?
Hold on,
name?
hold on.
It was
Hold on! It's
I
here
typed
somewhere.
it out and everything. Okay, go ahead and get it. It's
We'll edit this out. It's all cool.
It's Nightcat. What was your
it's
name?
Nyx.
old
it's,
Whistling
it's
Joe's memory's
Nix.
a bit fuzzy.
It's so good to see you, and I'm
Nix,
just
yeah.
gonna be removing. Let me see if I can help and remove some rocks from this side. And as she does so, she's taking the bomb and hiding it away because he can't quite see it. And but,
As Nix
Okay.
and Albert are doing this with Whistling Joe up at the doorway, Teja's going to start preparing his quarterstaff and other weapons just in case.
Albert still has his bow drawn, with Alan next to him, mimicking him.
Okay, so Natty says, Nix, why didn't you set it off? We could have solved this whole problem.
I can't kill people.
Right here, right now.
Especially people I know. All right? I've made some poor choices in the past, and I ain't continuing them now.
Well, those people out there don't have that same predilection. And they care about one thing, and that's covering their debts right now. And you guys are covered in money.
We're covered in poop.
All right? And she, gestures. Well, yeah, that too. But the clothes that you're wearing, this tech that you got on you,
Wait a minute.
They were willing to. Yeah, Albert. I know you didn't really want to do it, but they kind of threw you in the dung pile to get across that rat nest over there.
Well, not they, Albert. I threw you into the batshit pile because, well, you were fussing and fighting with me.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that well, Teja.
That's right. Yeah. But it's alright. Sometimes those lapses happen. They call it being batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy. That's it. Whistling Joe.
Look, this is all besides the point. Those people are going to be through the wall in a little bit, and they are going to want to be paid, alright? And what you have on right now is money to them.
I got an idea.
Okay? They chased me down the cave,
Whistling
and
Joe,
they were willing to kill me for
get
it.
this bat guano from us. It's the best fertilizer you'll find this side of the mountains.
Okay. Well, you've been in that cave a long time there, son, haven't you?
We
Don't
have
worry,
been here
we'll
a
get
long
you
time,
out.
and all we found
Just
is
stay
this
there.
god dang bat guano.
You
Shit.
hear feverish working as they
Nix,
are quickly
you gotta
demolishing
throw that
the
bomb.
cave-in.
Nix
give
is
it to
gonna
Alan.
look at-
He can set it off without any issue.
Hey, how about you do it then? And I just hand it over to Albert.
You hear, yeah, get the dynamite.
Teja
Out.
Teja's going
As
to
they're
look
about
at the
to-
group, look at where the doorway is down the hallway, put his hand over his symbol, say a quick prayer, then grab the bomb from Nix, run down the
Teja!
hallway, click the button, and throw it at the wall.
Okay. They need to roll
there goes
perception.
our Hail
See if they hear
Mary.
anything. And
And y'all say I'm
Five,
the
then.
impulsive one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
To be fair, I never saw that one coming. I didn't
Albert
think
covers
Teja
his
would.
ears and gets on the ground. mimicked
Get
by
down.
Alan.
Get around the corner and get down. Nix is just gonna... Nix is diving. Nix is diving for cover.
Okay. You hear the chirping of the bomb, deet, 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 and then you hear from the outside, "What's that?" And then the black sphere rises out of it. There's a crackling of green energy along the surface, and then everything within the sphere is just gone.
And now we're lawful evil.
Teha, when he obviously stands up after the bomb has gone off, he looks, very pointedly at each of the members of the party and Natty, and then says, "I'm sorry, friends. I wasn't sure if they would continue to try and attack, and I'm not willing to risk your lives for the sake of theirs."
Albert says, "That was awesome!" Actually, Alan says that too, simultaneously.
Okay. So Natty looks over and is like, yes, thank you. Thank you, Teha. You saved our skins back there.
Natty, I did not do this for you.
Good thinking.
Don't forget that I also remember you saying that you took money from these people. No, that price is
like
still on
that's
your
been
head.
Cleared.
And Albert's gonna open his coat and pull out his badge. He doesn't have one anymore. Damn it, he's gonna try to, and then realize his badge is gone, and then say, "God." And then he'll look up at Natty and go, "HAPD, you're under arrest."
Who is he arresting?
Natty.
Okay. No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
And then
Teha will walk over to Natty, bend down so that his beak and eyes are level with hers. Natty, those lives that were just taken out there, and that money you took, that cost is on you. Find a way to repay that cost, or we will have a separate discussion that will not be pleasant.
Okay.
I probably lost my job anyways.
She shakes her head, yes. I mean nods her head, yes. Alright, well, it's my intent. I just want to add a little bit to the world, reclaim some lost knowledge, and maybe make things better for everybody. At which point there's still some shouting outside, and you hear Whistling Joe, "What the hell? What was that?" And you hear another one, "Boss, you still want me to get the dynamite? There ain't nothing to blow up now." And you hear, "Fuck that! Let's get out of here!" And you hear,
and there's more where that came from.
Running, and you hear hoofbeats. And then silence.
Come, friends.
Nyx is still so stunned by all of this that she's just kind of shifting from foot to foot, and her tail is just whipping around her feet like crazy.
Let's make our way out of these caves and see if we can't make our way back to a civilized area or a town where we can rest and recuperate and clean up.
And take a bath.
And Teha starts walking towards the exit.
All right.
But his feathers are kind of fluffed, and he's throwing off a sensation of being very conflicted about what he just had to do. But at the same time, justified but still conflicted. Kind of this odd feeling coming off of him.
It's like an internal conflict. Like, he did what a survivor would do, but at the same time, he feels like his connection to his ancestors, like maybe his ancestors are a little bit unsettled by this mercenary
very much
decision.
So. And he continues to obviously walk out into the open area of outside the caves.
Okay, the light is blinding, as this is the first time you've seen daylight in what seems to be an eternity. It takes a long time for your eyes to adjust, and it is I think particularly for Nyx and Teha, it's like shackles have been removed, and these were like shackles of the subconscious, and all you can do is kind of like mentally like rub those wrists, and it's been such a long time since you've had real freedom that it's a bit overwhelming. You find after your eyes adjust, you can see the gaping hole in the side of this desert wall behind you, the entrance to what was this cave, and sprawling before you is the canyon lands of the central river that runs through Nesca. Teha being a ranger, you instantly pick up where
I'm
you are.
actually a paladin,
and
but
you
yeah.
are Oh yeah, I don't know why I keep thinking you're a ranger.
Yeah.
But it's actually Albert is a ranger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Albert instantly knows where he is from his extensive studying of pulp fiction novels and the various settings that take
He had
place
an
in
atlas
Nesca. You are in an atlas, and he was a bit bookish, I would imagine. You know that you are between the Mesa lands, which is the rugged outlaw frontier, and the plain lands, which is more about industry and agriculture and the conflict between the natural world and the civilized world. But right now, you're closest to the main trade artery, a large river that cuts its way through the heart of Nesca.
Albert
in
says,
the camp.
Alan,
go ahead.
say the line. And then Alan goes, I'm free, throwing up his hands again, dancing around. Sorry, go on.
The camp in front of you is in disarray. It looked adequate, but only for the most diminutive of means. It seems like there's just a lot of spent cartridges and empty bottles of booze, as they've been kind of set up here for what looks like a week. And there would have been mining tools around the entrance to the cave, but they're literally, they no longer exist. Although you do notice a fine particulate of atomized dust that is drifting around the entrance of the cave. It's a haze which you've never really seen before, aside from when you used that other bomb in the rat chamber. The wind is sweet and the sun is hot, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like your heart's finally beating as you are out on the riverlands. Two mounts stay ground-tied, a horse and an axe-beak, and various amount of luggage and cargo remain around this dilapidated campsite. And in the distance, you can
Shepperd,
see two horses galloping away
and
from you.
Albert, do you think you can look through this campsite really quickly and see if there's anything we can use?
Good luck, my friend.
Okay. Then Teha
that'd be
turns to
interesting to see.
Nyx. Nyx, would you like to see what the world looks from above?
I would. Yeah. And you can tell you can tell that Nyx is feeling like really guilty, like her head is hanging down and she's kind of like shifty-eyed, and she's barely looking Teha in the face because she feels like she caused
So
that
Teha
moral
will
dilemma.
gently pick up Nyx and unfurl his wings and take to flight and fly upwards a good distance, just to get some space from the rest of the group. And while they're flying and kind of taking in the sights, Teha will talk to Nyx. Nyx, do not feel like you caused this. What happened down there with that last bomb was not your choice. It was mine. So do not take that burden on yourself.
But I came up with that idea, Teha. I know I didn't ask you to do it, but what if I hadn't even thought of that? Why did that have to be the first thing that I thought of?
The peace between two groups, which is always a good thing. You're trying to find a path with the least amount of violence. And that's commendable. My concern was...
Yeah.
I did not want anyone in our group to be hurt or harmed. So that is why I acted as I did. So try and seek peace up here in the sky and with the views. Let your conscience rest. This is not on you.
Alright. Thanks for saying that. Hey, Teha, you think we could do this again sometime when like the stars are out?
And Teha and...
That'd be nice.
We'll fly Nyx around a little bit more, just showing her various sights of the landscape, and then return back to the camp in the group.
At the camp, Albert is going to... Can Albert command Alan to look for clues?
Yes, and I just want to say what a gamer move that was, to be like, I know I blew up the friends that you didn't want to be killed, but let me take you flying real quick.
Wasn't
what a
meant
player.
in that way. It was more meant, okay, let's try and ease the conscience here, because I know she's feeling guilty. It's very obvious. Let's make sure that she doesn't carry that burden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I know I... Yeah, exactly. I know I just bankrupted your father's company, but do you want to go for a ride in my father's private helicopter?
No, that was a good moment. That was solid. I liked that.
Yeah, that was good.
Alan, be careful with the body parts. So, can I just roll
Yeah. There. What are you referring to as body parts? There's literally nothing but atomized dust.
It's kind of like a futuristic bomb that just zaps people, right? Like just woof.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that dust has a red hue to it. That's all that's left, and it smells faintly of iron.
Okay, well,
Yes.
Alan.
But go ahead,
for clues.
Albert.
You got it, my friend.
Go ahead,
says
Albert.
Alan, and they'll both split up and quickly squirrel through the camp. Yay, that's...
Sure, you can give yourself the help
that's
action. You can roll with advantage. Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation
Now
with advantage. Oh, yeah. You find a... it's called a wheel lock pistol, and it's very similar to kind of the tech from real life 1790s. It has a heavy cylinder in the back that allows you to feed cartridges into it. They're known for misfiring a little bit, and they can kind of burn your hand as the chamber doesn't close very cleanly, but they are a powerful weapon. You find... oh, shoot. you find 94 rounds for it. Yeah. And you realize
Alan,
that
down,
they all
says
probably
Albert.
were packing
Hold
those
on.
same sort of
And
weapons.
he walks over and picks it up. And then he
but
like,
they're all
"I'll
dust
take
now."
the 94 ammo. Well, Al, is there a
It would
holster
be
for the
investigation or survival. And what are you doing there, Al?
gun? Okay. Al's gonna pick it up.
No.
Well,
it
I
seems
know we're
like
all
they
a
would have
bit
been wearing
choked
their
up
holster.
about the whole explosion thing, he says, sniffing the air and smelling the iron and looking disgusted, but man, I'm glad it happened, he says, looking at the gun.
Oh, 23? As you begin to poke around, you find a scroll of Expeditious Retreat, a scroll of Animal Friendship, and a scroll of Detect Magic.
So, DM, quick question. How many people were caught in that blast?
You don't know because you weren't in a position to observe.
Okay.
Well, you were. You would have seen 3. 2 of them, Whistling Joe was clear he had actually retreated to... He didn't retreat, he had broken away to get dynamite. And the other
dynamite, is there any
person
dynamite?
rolled high enough on his perception to
Okay.
realize
With that in
something was
mind-
up, and he stepped away.
With that in mind,
26.
Teha will take his fingers and where maybe some of this red dust has maybe settled on, a rock or something. He'll take his fingers, run it through the dust, and then make 3 lines on his armor at his shoulder. And
Oh, that's cool.
he'll turn to the group.
All right, Kratos.
In my culture, when one takes a life, it's a mark on the soul. You have to make acts to atone for such things, and bring balance back to the world for what you removed. So I will have to commit 3 acts of something that's more positive in this world, whether it be kindness, generosity, helping someone. Once those 3 acts have been committed, I can remove these 3 marks. But until I do, everyone in my culture would know that I've done something that I need to atone for.
"5," says Albert, gesturing to Al.
Well, you got 4 of us out of here alive. Would that at least erase one of the marks? Okay,
I think-
5. Sure. And Nyx just
Daddy would...
gives him an irritated look.
I think Daddy would give a moment to let those kind of profound declarations sink in and say, well, Teha, I wish there were more folks like you out in this world. I don't know if it means anything to you, but you guys saved my life. I was just fixing to live the rest of my days out in that cave. I really
Perhaps
didn't have an
because I was able to save all of your lives with my action, I can remove one of the marks. And he takes his thumb, wipes it in the dirt, and then removes the topmost mark.
And a gun.
and you see Albert with a giant crate of dynamite.
No, Albert, not again. Has anybody looked for food? Anybody found any food? I'm starving. All right, move over, y'all. I gotta find out if there's anything edible in here. I'm sorry, my conscience is being loud, but my stomach is louder. So Nix is gonna start rummaging through looking for food.
You instantly catch the smell of something on the fire. You can see a iron cauldron as something is brewing in it.
All right, she's gonna walk over and see if she can give it a stir and a sniff if there's an implement with which to stir.
Albert says,
it smells really familiar,
damn it. And
I
Alan
think
says, I love
Albert would
rattlesnakes.
have already picked up on it.
Albert, rattlesnakes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, I walked right
Snake
into that.
But it's piping hot and ready to eat. You can see 4 rattlers that have been deboned and skinned, floating around like large meat noodles in this milky broth.
Oh. Milky? Milky broth, really?
Teja's gonna look at this and
Now, Albert...
look at the group.
Well enough as any, I suppose.
Albert, do you know how to track and trap?
Well, to be honest, I know. I know how to. I say I'm particularly skilled at it.
He means no, Teja. I'm pretty sure he means no.
Okay. Teja's gonna extend his wings and jump to the sky again and start searching for any critters that he may be able to catch from above.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a survival. So as you forage for food, you have 2 options. You can use survival for game and animals, and nature to find like roots, berries, and nuts, kind of.
And I got a 21.
A 21? Shoot. Go ahead and roll me a D8.
Got an 8.
An 8. Okay, so you see a... it's a gazelle local to these lands. But it has big black stripes, and at a glance you're able to tell that this one is much older, past its prime, and it seems a little discombobulated, like it's not sure where it is. And you realize that this old antelope has passed its prime so much that it would be an active
so
person
Teja will,
to take it down.
Seeing all of this, go into a dive with his talons outstretched below him for maximum impact, and trying to make the kill against this as quick and clean as possible. And he'll aim for the back of the neck, base of the skull.
Okay. Like many times before, you feel a sharp crack through your talons, and you realize that the death was
and then he'll pick up the entire corpse of the creature and take it back to the camp, where he'll lay it with the group. And
in the meantime,
there, now we can have something other than whatever is in that pot, and we should use all of it.
Practice?
We can use the leather for certain things. We can use the bones for many things as well. So let's do what we can.
I agree.
Try and honor the creature that I just
Nyx
took a life from, please.
Nyx is also looking rather judgmentally at Albert after that comment. You know what? I'll sleep on that, Shepperd. Thank you.
Shepperd?
And you see that Nyx is like back to being guilty
Shepperd.
about everything.
My friend, if you see the 2 marks on my armor, that is how I honor those. Until I make an act of something positive, then I will honor them. And by making that positive act for the world, I show and honor their memory and the sacrifice that their lives had to be made.
It'll be Alan, says Albert, and he says, "Time to say goodbye, my friend." And he like pulls out.
Hopefully
his
no
pistol
one
and, like, does a
anytime
little dance
soon,
with
my
it.
friend.
Stand right there. Let's see how this thing works. As he twirls it around in his fingers.
Okay.
Okay. Do I add anything to this? Just my dex mod? Oh, no.
Okay, make an attack roll.
I don't think so.
Tell me,
okay,
is
then,
Albert
I guess that makes
proficient in pistols?
Either way,
or not pistols, but firearms? No.
Nyx,
Firearms are really common in this world, so it's not unusual if you have a martial weapon proficiency to be proficient in.
I think it would make sense for him to be proficient,
it
especially
would-
if he's going to be like. Seems
So
to
if
follow
you-
his
If
blade
you
for
if you
traditions,
don't want the proficiency
already have a firearm.
for role play reasons, that's fine. We can like do practice
okay,
to
well,
get the
I rolled a
proficiency
5 in that case.
as you adventure.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, then it's just a standard ranged attack roll. Okay, you miss.
No.
You miss your duplicate. So as you bring this weapon up, you're like, all right, stay right there, and you bring it up like high above your head, like really gonna get it good. And as you bring it up,
Hold
you're
on. Move more into the light. Says
you
Albert,
realize
like,
it had a hair
for
trigger
Alan
and
to move a little more
crack.
into sunlight.
It fires
let me
off.
try
A
now.
bullet goes straight up into the air, and you miss completely. What do you do next?
Hey, 10. Which actually is its AC.
Okay, the clone, and you quickly thumb another cartridge into the wheel lock, and go ahead and roll again. Ten is exactly what you needed to hit it. So this time you put the new cartridge in and bring it up from pointing at the ground, and the balance is a little bit weird.
Alan, wait,
and
Alan do like a really dramatic.
you
like,
realize that you don't need to hold the barrel of the
what
gun.
great
You
marksmanship!
Take your hand, put it on the base, and you draw a bead, and
and then die.
And as you squeeze in on the trigger, your clone says, "I like," and crack! It disappears in a puff of smoke.
And then Albert.
While
twirls
you're
it on his
hamming this
finger
up,
again,
you have
unloads
a
it, and then
live
pumps it
pistol
his
in
bag
your hand.
or pocket.
Taking
So I
cover.
imagine everybody around you
That's
is
one
like,
thing I can do. Okay, I think.
taking cover.
oh yes,
11.
I would have taken. Nyx would have taken cover the second she heard him say, "Go stand over there and let me figure out how this works." She'd have been like, "Nope."
Make a sleight of hand roll.
While Albert's doing this, Teja's gonna kind of whisper over to Nyx. See if you can get the dynamite away from him.
I unloaded it.
I'm gonna try and do that. Yeah, right away.
With an 11, nothing bad happens. But as you're twirling it, it kind of loses momentum like halfway through, and you gotta like start it again. It's like, I'll get it, and then you have no holster to put it in, so I guess you just put it in your pocket. Nothing bad's gonna happen like that.
Oh God.
As you guys kind of go through the rest of the camp, since you guys got really high rolls, you do find 2 lassos, a trash cannon, which is a salvaged piece of old world tech. It works similar to a shotgun, but you can load a variety of, anything that you can put down the barrel functions as ammunition. So
Why does that sound?
That.
That sounds more like an Albert weapon than any of us, honestly.
And the 2 horses, sleeping rolls, a change of clothes, a leaden merchant's weight crafted in the shape of a bear, just some random trinkets, a ring with 4 keys and a holy symbol of torn and
Longstrider?
what else?
Oh, jump.
A ring of climbing and jumping. So this ring you can use to cast. I think it's like called long jump or something like that. It triples your jump distance.
It's just called jump, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a druid spell too.
And nice. And as you guys, are you guys making camp here for the? I assume since you brought the kill back here to. It becomes pretty clear as Teja sets up this deer to dress it down that you won't be eating snake sketty tonight. No milky broth is in store for you guys, and for the first time in a long time, you can see the stars.
Nyx is just going to go sit off by herself after helping Teja dress the kill. She's going to just go sit off by herself and study the stars and compare her star chart to the heavens to try and figure out what time of year it is. That kind of thing.
That's a great idea. Roll me nature.
All right. That's a 7.
Mm-hmm. And you guys should have just slid over more towards the middle of it. With a 7, the stars look unfamiliar to you. They are the same stars, the same constellation, but a great deal of time has passed since you last saw them, and they are like seeing the face of an old friend after being estranged for a few years. And I think it's less of a moment of knowledge than getting reacquainted to that old friend.
Just basking in the starlight.